Hello everyone, I'm here today with a new video, and this one is a little bit of a mini flip through. Not a major one, but a mini one. This is for my DC and Baltimore album, and I'm doing it this way because I actually did quite a few layouts already, but none of them were recorded. So I want to show you what I have done so far and then sort of where I'm going with it as we go forward. So as you can see, like, I have some things dropped in here. I've got brochures and other things, little bits of memorabilia. I've got some photos dropped in of things that I want, receipts, that kind of stuff. But in terms of layouts, I've only done a handful, but I just wanted to show you what I have done so far. So this is my opening page. Normally I choose to do like a 3x8 if I were gonna do this size, or a 4x8. This one I actually did a split because I had some things I wanted to use. So I have this card, which was just Love This Getaway. I added everything else and I matched it to this other card that I had that I believe is part of the DC digital set that I bought. And why it just was this, like a very plain card that doesn't say anything DC, I don't know, but it worked for what I wanted. So I guess that was lucky. So I just tried to match that and this. I think that worked out great. And then since this had gray on the sides, I thought, all right, I'll find something gray. And luckily I happened to have this digital cutout that actually said September. That was perfect. And then I had some big number stickers to look like, you know, similar like this, like an arrival and departure board. So I put those on there as well. And I was only there, 2 days. So it worked out well that I could get all of this together. On this side, I wanted to document my flight. So I actually flew from Minneapolis to Baltimore, and I did it because I knew getting the train between Baltimore and DC was super fast, and I'm an Amtrak rewards member, and so I get points and it helps me keep my status to use Amtrak, and taking the Amtrak in between is super quick. So it wasn't an imposition for me to fly to Baltimore, go to DC, and then take the train back. So I have that on here, and I just put a nice little chipboard piece over the code because I always think it looks ugly. And then a picture of my plane. I flew Sun Country, which is an airline most people don't know about unless you're from the Midwest. They hub here in Minneapolis, so I almost always get the cheapest flights either with Sun Country or Delta because they both hub here. So I just added minimal embellishment here, just a little sticker that I could write on. So I have that on there, and then I just try to match the orange to the plane. And then over here, this was my first time at this airport, and it's an interesting setup. If you're flying into Baltimore and you want to catch the train, they actually put you like on a shuttle bus, take you to the station, and then you go from there. It's not directly at the airport. So just a tip for anybody who might want to do it. So here I am on the bus, and they had a digital sign going, so I caught this on there. So that worked out well. And then I actually remembered to take a selfie before I started out the day, and it actually turned out. Normally I don't like pictures of myself. This one's okay, so I decided to use it. And then all I did was just use one little sticker, and again I tried to match it to everything so it wouldn't stick out. This next page is the station, and again a lot of like orange and yellowy orange in some of these pictures. So I do have that kind of as a theme for a couple of layouts here. And this one, again, a lot was happening. I just wanted to showcase the station since it was new for me. I had never been to it. And I just used a blue tag that I had. It was actually quite large. I cut off the rest of it because I didn't need it. Just had this little piece of ephemera that said adventure. It was gray, so I figured that was safe. It's a neutral. And a little rhinestone for shine. And then over here, I love this background paper. I've kind of been hoarding it for a while, but I thought it worked well with the colors I had and the fact that I was in a highly congested like city area. Baltimore and DC are very close, and there's kind of traffic and things all the way in between. And so I felt like using this type of a background was very fitting. So I used that, and then I had this piece left from a kit from Everyday Explorers. I bought a mini kit that was 4x6, almost like a traveler's notebook, but the size was 4x6. And so I wanted to use some of the stuff I had left. Actually, I think this tag is from there too, if I remember right. So got to use several of those pieces, and then I just did a little puffy sticker here, star that matched the gray that was in the background. Clearly, I haven't done the layout yet that goes there, but I will. I skipped it because I knew I had these things that I wanted to use. So I just used a white brick background here to kind of blend in, but have enough differentiation from the other stuff that it would look okay. So this is a picture of the Capitol that I took right outside of the train station. You can see it very close to there. And I actually had a digital kit on the Project Life app that is all national landmarks, and this was one of them. So I thought, well, if I have it, not planning to go back to DC again anytime soon, so I might as well use it. So I just stacked those up together, one little piece of chipboard, some stickers, called it good. On the back, I decided to include a map that I had, and I love this one because it shows, you know, more than what I actually did or where I was, but it's a continuation of it. I was at the Amtrak station, and from there, this is Union Station right here. It's kind of hard to see, but that's Union Station right there. So everything I did was like right here. It was in this radius. So you can see how close the Capitol is. That's why I could see it. But the art museum and some other things that I had planned were right there. But I loved how colorful this was, and I wanted to get that in there. And you know what? This tag, I just realized, is also from that Everyday Explorer set. So I did use quite a few pieces in there, which is great. And then I had this honking geotag. It's a puffy sticker, and you know what? I cannot remember where it's from. Maybe Ellie's Studio? I don't know, though. There's a different look about it. Maybe it's not, so don't quote me on that. But I had it, and it fit that empty space perfectly. Had I not had that, I probably would have stamped there, just because that's a good amount of space, and I have plenty of things travel-related that would have fit. But I went with this, and I love it because there is this yellow line here, and it helps to bring that out, I think. And one of my main reasons for wanting to go to DC first is because I wanted to go to the National Gallery of Art. I've been to DC before and never made it there because usually like we just didn't have time, or one time, you know, I was with my husband and he didn't really have any interest in going there. So I didn't make it. So this time I thought, all right, I have all the time to myself. I was alone. I could do whatever I want. So I chose to include that. I did include the entire map. The weird thing is it opens this way. So it was a little weird, like, oh, I feel like it's wrong. I feel like it should be opening the other way, but it is in here. And look at this. It opens the entire way. So if you want to see all of it, you can. So sometimes when I've put maps in here, I'll cut off and only use like the front and back, whatever I want. But this one I wanted the whole thing, not only because of the front and then the map, but I was talking with a docent and she actually wrote some stuff on here for me, direction-wise, and what I should see, and I wanted to keep that. It was a nice memory. We had a good conversation, and she was exactly right with where she pointed me to go, and I very much appreciated it. And then on the back, I did choose to cover up that backside because there wasn't as much as in the other areas, and I used this 4x8 card I had that was all about museums, and so I just filled in what was appropriate, did some journaling, and it came as a 4x8. Obviously this brochure is a little bit bigger, but I made it work. I just put a very simple white background on it, did some ink splattering, and I think that helped bring it together. All right, so that's all I really have finished, but I did want to show you some other things. Like here's another map. This is from Baltimore now, but I chose to cut that down, drop it in. Not exactly sure what I'm going to do with it, but I knew I wanted to use it. Same with this. This came out of a brochure. It's oddly sized though, so I'm not sure if it's going to go in this way or am I going to fold it? I don't know, but I have it, and I've thrown some pictures into that I'm not quite sure what to do with. I want them, but I just don't know how to make it work. Then I also have the cover of this brochure. When I went to the Peabody Library in Baltimore, I didn't know it when I showed up, but there was a Gertrude Stein exhibit, and I've actually read the autobiography of Alice B. Toklas, which was by her, and I know some things about her life. So it was a bonus, and I definitely want to use it, but look how big it is. I haven't quite figured out how that's going to go in. I might have to cut like here, and like just not use the Stein, just do Gertrude and make it like a 4x8 or something, but I definitely want to use it, so I have it in there. But at least now you've gotten to see what I've done so far before I start the rest of the layouts. Thanks for watching.